Hello. So today I'm going to show you how to make this face scrubby using the previous stitch that I just did in my last video, which is the half double crochet in the third loop. These are pretty simple to make, and I love the spiral effect that this design gives. So the pattern that I got this from is from Sierra's Crafty Creations. I will put the website to her pattern in the description so that if you want to go and see the written instructions, you can find it on her website. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. I've made quite a few of these face scrubbies, and like I said, they don't take very long at all. So let's get started. So you're going to see here I have my 5mm hook. I don't know if you can actually see that. So they also reference hooks to letters as well. So the 5mm, so sometimes in patterns you'll see that they'll tell you to use a G or an H or a J hook. So for me, I find now that most patterns seem to actually say the actual number of millimeters for the hook, which makes it a little easier. Especially if you're just beginning and don't know what the letters mean. I probably couldn't even tell you what each letter stands for. I always would have to look it up. I think I have a chart saved on my phone so that I can refer to if I happen to come across a pattern that doesn't tell me what millimeter it is. But yeah, so this is a 5mm and it's a G hook. Now I also have a stitch marker. We're going to need to use this. It's going to tell us after we complete a round, because we're basically working in a continuous round for this project. So we need to know where we last left off so that when our stitch count changes, so that we kind of keep it going in an even circle. And then of course I have scissors. So the first thing that we need to do is a magic circle. So I'm just going to unravel some of my yarn here. So I have that ready. Okay, so with the magic circle, I just hold it in my hand like this. And then I flip my hand over. And then I hold it across two fingers, and then I come up underneath. And then I come around so that I have like an X on the top of my hand, or my fingers there. And then I go under the bottom one, and then over top of that top where the cross is, and then I come through. So now I have a loop. Now I always chain one. It's just how I do it. You don't have to. You can just start right into the number of stitches that you need. So for this particular one, we need to do 9 half double crochets inside the magic circle. So a half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into this loop, keeping this just the way that it is. You want to leave it like this, because what we're going to do is we're going to be able to pull this to close in our magic ring. So you're going to go inside and make sure you're around both of those, and then come up and then pull through, and then we're going to pull through all 3 loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have our 9 half double crochet. So now we're just going to pull on this to close this up. So because I did a chain 1, sorry, I hope that I closed the blind on the window. I shouldn't complain because it's a very nice sunny day out there today, which is not something we've seen a lot of lately. So it's nice to see the sun, but it's really shining in on my camera here, so hopefully it's not too hard to see. All right, so as I was saying, I did chain 1, which this, you can kind of see that this here is my chain 1 that I did. So we just kind of have to ignore that. I do that so that it defines this first stitch a little bit better. Otherwise it would kind of look quite tiny like that one does. So what we need to do first is put our stitch marker in, because we need to know that this is where it ends. So when we start our new count of stitches, we know where to start from. So that should be in our 9th stitch. So working in the 3rd loop, so you're going to see your chain here. This is your top, the top of your loops here, or your stitch. So we need to work in the back. So you're going to bring it forward towards you, and then you're going to see that there's a bar right here. That first bar that's there, that's the one we want to work into. So we're going to do a half double crochet. Now the pattern for this, for the 2nd row, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into each stitch. So then we'll end up with a total of 18 stitches in the end. So again, we're going to work into this, and I always find that first one, it's a little hard to navigate the hook through. Again, sometimes trying different hooks might be the better way to go, especially if the end has maybe a pointier end. And then we're just going to pull through all 3 loops. So again, I said we're going to do 2 in each stitch, so we need to go back into that same one again, which will be a little easier now. And then we're going to pull through all 3 loops. So again, so you're going to see that this is your top. Sorry, there's your top there. And we need to go into that bar that you see next when you flip it towards you. So we need to go into this one here. We're going to do 2 in each of those stitches. So again, here's your top. We got to turn towards, and we want that next bar we see there. Okay, so that's 6 stitches that we've done so far. It's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then, so this is our last stitch here. So we're going to go in there 2 more times to get our 18th stitch, and then we have to move that stitch marker. Okay, so we're going to take that out and then put that in the last one we did there. And that's the first row. So you will see that this does loosen sometimes. That's why we keep this there. And you can still tighten it in the end. And then once you sew in your ends, you pull it a little bit tighter. I find that when you're working closer into that it gets a little, it comes loose a little bit, but we should have it tight enough there now. I'm just going to pull out some more of my yarn here. Okay. So for this next row, see how easy it is to make a knot just from pulling out your string. Okay. All right, so for the next row, we're going to do a half double crochet in the first 3rd loop of that first row. And then we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the next. So again, this is our top part here. So we need to turn it. This one does get a little tricky to see, but it is this one here. oops, got a yarn over, start the hook, and pull through all the loops. So we do 1, and then we're going to do 2 into the next bar. So as you go along, it does get a little bit easier to see that third loop because of how it makes this kind of the front part raised now. So it almost like seems natural to go into that loop now. Okay, and then we're going to do 1. So we're just going to alternate between 1 and 2. So now we're going to do 2 half double crochets into this row, or this stitch, sorry. And then we do 1. And then we're going to do 2. And then 1. So we just keep doing this all the way across until we get to our stitch marker there. So that lets us know that we need to move on to the next round. And then 2. 1, 2, 1 half double crochet. Now I'm hitting the camera, sorry. Sometimes I think it kind of auto fixes itself. 1, and then 2. Oops, almost didn't do 2. Okay, so we're at our last stitch, so we're going to do 2 into this one here. So 1 half double crochet in the third loop and 2 into the third loop. So now we need to move our stitch marker again. So we're going to put that in that last stitch there. All right, so for our next one, we're now going to do 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then we'll do 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. So like I said, it kind of starts to become natural to just go right into that third hoop or third loop. I do find that the first one's always a little trickier to see, but so we got the front here, and then we just flip, and we're going to go right into that first loop that we see there. So we're going to do a single and then another single. Pull up some more yarn here, and then now we're going to do a double half double crochet into that third loop. So again, we're just going to repeat this process again. So we're going to do 2 singles and then a double. Singles and then a double. 2 singles. Sometimes I have to check my work. Yep, okay. So now we're going to do a double. Two singles, then a double, two singles, double, two singles, right, and then yeah, so this one's a double. See, I sometimes always have to check, and then so we're doing 2 singles now. So see how natural it just becomes to like go into that hoop there, because this is now brought forward, so it kind of like that first row is probably the trickiest, or round I should say, not row, but it does start to become a lot easier to work into the third loop. So this is going to be a double. This will be 2 singles, and then we should finish with a double. So there's our last stitch. So we can just take that out now because we are finished, because that is all there is to it. So the last thing that we just have to do to kind of finish this off is that we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. So this just kind of ties in to complete it as a circle, because if you do it like this, then it leaves this edge there, it just kind of stops it right there. So if we just do a single crochet into the next stitch, it'll kind of bring it together to make the circle. And then you're just gonna, so I think I might have been out of my camera there, sorry about that. I'm just gonna go back and show that to you again. Okay, so we just need to finish this off so that it's a little tighter there now, so it looks more like close it in as a circle. So we just need to go in and do a single crochet into that next stitch. And doing that, I went into the original loops that we would normally work in. And then the next stitch there, you're just going to do a slip stitch. And then that is it. We'll just cut this off. And there you have it. There is your face scrubby with that nice, cute little spiral design. Yeah, it's fairly simple to make. You can make quite a few of these up. I did have some laying around here. I don't know what to do with them. Oh, right there. So yeah, so these are ones that I've made. I usually put them in as a 3-pack. They are good, you know, for craft shows, I should say. I mean, with this pandemic right now and social distancing, none of those things are happening at the moment. So I do have these on my stores on Amazon and Etsy. I'll also put the links to my stores in the description as well, in case you wanted to check out what you know, things I have made and what I have on there. But yeah, so I mean, this is just cardstock paper and these stickers that I got from the dollar store. And yeah, this is just a 3-pack. I mean, they're so simple. Great gifts, you know, to use to clean your face or to remove makeup. Just such a neat idea. And I mean, you can, you know, make them look nice with the packaging that you use and stuff. So it's definitely a fun little project. But anyway, so I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If there is any tutorials that you would like to see on a certain pattern, please, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I would be happy to make that for you. So I hope you enjoy the videos. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Instayarn Creations as well. So thank you and have a great day.